Hello, family, friends, and fans. I'm Fletcher Rhoden, and this is Fletcher Rhoden by the Book. So, the show is basically me going through my catalog of books, giving each one of them a video roundup to sort of give you a chance to consider their qualities, maybe get yourself a copy, or give one to a friend. They make handsome gifts as paperbacks. You can also get them as in Kindle format. And a lot of these books, like today's, are available in audiobook format. Today's book is called School Crossing, and you'll find it in the collection called The Novellas Volume 2. So there's a link to that uh, collection below. All the good reviews for the book are mostly on the Amazon page just for the book itself, School Crossing. That's where it's just a very well reviewed book. Perhaps my best reviewed book. It's right up there with Trial of Davy Crockett and Last Tango with Marlin. These are 5-star books. 5 stars across the line. And they're deservedly rewarded with those good reviews, I think. So this book, School Crossing, because I also have another show called Fletcher Rhoden Track by Track, where I go through my records and talk about each song on a video. Anyway, you tune into that right here on the same YouTube channel. So, School Crossing. This is a novella, sort of an intense, slow burn drama about school shootings. You know, so in this story, it's a retired detective, and his life has gotten pretty empty without the job, and so he wakes up one morning and there's news of a school shooting somewhere in the U.S. Children killed, gunmen, and he decides to stand sentry at his local elementary school. He straps on his gun, he goes in front of the school and just stands there. So he becomes a catalytic character. Everybody reacts to him, the teachers and the principal of the school, and then the school board and the local cops. And this guy was a cop. And then, of course, the local government has to get involved, and the news industry has to get involved. So everybody he's a catalyst for everybody for these different stories that are going on. Lots of different subplots in this book, and they're all altered by this guy and his silent protest. And then, of course, he becomes a subject of fascination with the public. You know, other people start doing it too. Uh, People begin to joke about him on TV. Late night comedians. People begin to discuss it on the late night panel shows. So he just brings up this question of how do we stop these school shootings? Now a lot of people have said, well, just have a few armed guards, but a lot of people say that won't do it. That wouldn't do it. I do have an answer, but you have to read the book to find out what it is. But in this book, like in Trial of Davy Crockett, for example, I leave it to the reader to come to a conclusion on their own. I don't dictate what is or isn't. I just present the world as I see it, and I leave it for you to decide how best to deal with this situation. It's in this way, it's one of my most noble efforts. Trial of Davy Crockett, I hoped to combat racism with that book. It's kind of a lofty goal for a little guy with a little book. With this book, I kind of hoped to do one tiny little thing in the effort against violence, especially toward children. These mass shootings are, a tragedy and a blight, and it's terrible the way we all react in a blasé fashion. I did what I could. I wrote my book. Now, this would be a great movie. This would be a very great indie film. And in fact, I reached out to my cousin, William Monahan, who directs indie films. He won an Oscar for the Departed adaptation screenplay. And since then, he's gotten into sort of directing indie films, you know. So I sent him a copy of the book and said, hey, you should make this into a movie. You like old men with guns. This is an old man with a gun. Never heard back from him. Hope you're well, though, William. Keep going with your success. But this would make a great movie. Be cheap and easy to shoot. Um, no special effects. It's really taut. There's a lot of suspense in it. It's one of these last ride kind of stories. The end is really powerful. I mean, I did it as an audiobook. You can get the audiobook from the link below. And I was, I was brought to tears when I was recording the audiobook. And I knew I knew how it ended. You know, when I was recording the audiobook, I had written the book before that. So I knew how it ended, but I was still moved to tears when I was reading it. That's a good book. And the reviews are right. You know, I don't mean to be big on myself, but I am promoting my own work, so might as well not be too falsely modest about it. The reviews nailed it. It's a taut character study that draws you into this public public matter of concern for us all, and it holds you right till the end. It's my writing moves fast, so it's rich with detail, but it's brisk. You know, I don't. I keep my action moving forward because I'm very concerned about holding my reader's attention, like most writers are. So you'll find this book to be entertaining, engaging, embroiling, hopefully, and maybe it'll be provocative. If you know anybody who has an interest in this subject matter, they might enjoy it. Get it for them in paperback. You know, this edition, the novellas, volume 2, comes with Romantics and Monsters, another book I'll be covering, and lots of excerpts. So there's excerpts from other books, lots of value there. If you're a Kindle subscriber, I'm pretty sure it's free. If you have, you know, the Kindle subscription, you can just get it for free. And if you like audiobooks, you got to have this as an audiobook. You know, it really draws you in. I don't want to say how it ends, but it's powerful stuff. Okay, so that's my book, School Crossing. On this video roundup, another edition of Fletcher Rhoden, Buy the Book. And won't you buy the book? Okay, links are below. Thanks again for tuning in. Watch for another analysis coming up. And until then, bye, Mary.